Hi, guys, and welcome to Classic Rural Comedies, Facts, and Trivia. Thank you for being here. Happy Memorial Day weekend, by the way. Today's video is on Inexplicably, Strange History of Mr. Ed the Horse. Bamboo Harvester was born in California as part of a reverend horse lineage. This epic equestrian celebrity story began in sunny California. He was born in 1949 to two purebred horses and was eventually owned by Lester Les Hilton. His family came from a long line of purebred horses meant for show, and his father, Harvester, was one of the prized horses of the San Fernando Valley. Bamboo Harvester was a beautiful and energetic horse that caught the eye of many. He also won awards and accolades as a show horse. His most notable footprint, or should we say hoof print, in Hollywood was his performance as Mr. Ed. His California neighbors remember fondly for both his spirit and his spunk. He wasn't even originally the horse set to play Mr. Ed. The pilot episode of Mr. Ed featured a different horse entirely. In fact, the pilot was recorded with an entirely different cast altogether. This episode, titled The Wonderful World of Wilbur Pope, excuse me, I never saw any screen time. If it had, this legendary series would have played out to a totally different tune. He was a bit of a diva. Even though in real life Mr. Ed was a non-talking horse, he had a lot to say. Having grown up in the limelight, his attitude matched that of a human counterpart. Subsequently, he was a bit of a diva. Bamboo Harvester was known to call it quits in the middle of a scene. He decided when the shoot was over by simply storming off the stage and refusing to return. He also had celebrity demands. They weren't quite as specific as a bowl full of only blue M&Ms or entirely vegan dressing room, although the latter would have been appropriate in this case. So what did he demand? Sweet tea by the gallon and 20 pounds of hay every day. A thick string was behind the talking horse secret. A trick string, I'm sorry. For years, mystery and intrigue surrounded how Hollywood made it look like this infamous horse was talking. Could he talk in real life, or were the cameras really magical enough to bring about such deception? In the 50s, people really believed it was some other worldly force or intense training that made it happen, although today we know the magic of movies can make just about anything possible. But at the time, rumors began to fly about how the horse talked. One was that he had a mouthful of peanut butter. As hilarious as the image as that conjures up, it turns out not to be true. The reality behind the talking magic was far less adorable. Hilton trained him to talk by moving his lips on cue, but he would only do it if Hilton was standing right there. Directors decided to use a nearly invisible string to pull up the flap around his lips, hence making him appear to be talking. The strings were run through a halter Bamboo Harvester wore, so they weren't seen in front of his face. He was a one-take wonder. Despite the diva tendencies that arose from time to time, he was usually quite the professional. It was common for the horse to complete a scene in just one take. Those scenes were somehow complicated and involved a good deal of physical activity and training, some of which included teaching the horse how to play different sports and even ride a skateboard. Mr. T took his cues from Francis the Talking Mule. Hilton was instrumental on the set of yet another talking animal show. If you watch closely, you'll see how some of the components from Francis the Talking Mule bore similarities to Mr. Ed and vice versa. Bamboo Harvester won several animal acting awards, which, yes, are real. Bamboo Harvester was adorned in awards for his stellar acting in Mr. Ed's series. His Patsy Award collection consists of first, second, and third place prizes, all of which were divvied out in the 60s at the height of the show's popularity. The Patsy Awards are designed to honor animal performers in entertainment world. They went from 1951 to 73, and Mr. Ed won 4. The leading animal began his acting career as a show horse. Since Bamboo Harvester was born and bred into celebrity, it only seems that his walk to fame began with a gallop through the Pasadena Rose Parade, an invitation-only extravaganza. It's sort of like the red carpet for horses. And Bamboo Harvester made quite the impression year after year. He spent half of his life as a show horse in the San Fernando Valley. He had a top-notch trainer. Bamboo Harvester grew to be quite the accomplished actor under the guidance of Hilton. It is said that the horse only missed one day of shooting in his entire career. Unlike his animal actor counterparts, who often require multiple similar-looking animals cast into the same role, the Palomino playing Mr. Ed stood solo. His stunt double, Pumpkin, is equally as famous. It is said that over the rigorous time of filming of Mr. Ed's series, Bamboo Harvester only needed to utilize his stunt double once. For the rest of the time, Pumpkin, sometimes referred to as Punkin, graced the set as Mr. Ed. The 4-year-old Palomino was trained to talk like Bamboo Harvester and looked remarkably similar. After coming into his own, the beloved Pumpkin would go on to make appearances in pudding commercials and on another award-winning show called Green Acres. There are multiple theories on about how and where he died. Probably the most talked about event in the life of Bamboo Harvester was his death. Yours was so famous, there are conspiracy theories about how he died, like other notable celebrities before and after him. Swirling theories surrounded his mysterious and untimely death. One theory suggested he was euthanized because of health conditions in a small town of Oklahoma. Alan Young, who played Wilbur in the series, wrote in his autobiography that Bamboo Harvester died later than many had previously said. He wrote he visited the horse in his retirement at the stable in Burbank, California, and the horse eventually died of old age. The most baffling theory of all was that Bamboo Harvester was running free at an Oklahoma farm where he eventually died of old age in an undisclosed year. There is a farm in Oklahoma where he is allegedly buried, and there's a marker on his grave with no date on it. A second horse posed as Bamboo Harvester and fooled the public for a whole 9 years. It's largely considered fact that Bamboo Harvester died in '70 due to health complications in Oklahoma. However, the public is never cued to this information at the time, which is why there are many conspiracy theories about his death. For 9 years, an entirely separate horse was used for still shots and press kits pertaining to the show. When that horse died, Mr. Ed's adoring fan base was then led to believe it was Bamboo Harvester. The Mr. Ed lives rumor came about when the public finally learned that the horse that died is Mr. Ed, not the original, beloved Bamboo Harvester. I know this is a bit long, but I thought, this is kind of neat to find out the history of the horse, and how he actually talked, or how they made him look like he talked. Anyway, I thought it was pretty neat. I hope you did as well. Classic rock, country music facts and trivia, classic TV facts and trivia, all for the weekend. We'll be back hopefully Monday, even if it is Memorial Day. We like to please my audience here. And the Andy Griffith Show facts and trivia is up and running today, so you want to go over there and check that out. That's all I got. You guys have a great day. God bless, and as always, I'm praying for you.